What is up, everybody? How's it going? I hope you're doing great. I am doing great. Thank you for asking. How's everybody's day going? Words. I feel like doing a little JavaScript to-do list, and we're just going to use some basic vanilla HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. We're not going to use any frameworks or libraries. We're just going to go straight code on this one. Let's just get into it. I've got a folder named code on my S drive with a JavaScript folder inside of that. We're just going to create a new folder. Let's call it to do, and let's go ahead and open that up. And I'm just going to type CMD there and code space period and enter. I'm using Visual Studio Code as my text editor. Close that, close this, close that, go away. Let's start off with creating our index HTML file. And as I've mentioned before in my other videos, I'm using Emmet. So I'll do exclamation and tab and voila, voila, bing, bada boom. Let's do a JavaScript to do. We are going to need a CSS file on this one, so let's do style.css. I always like to just type a little bit of stupid code. That's going to look horrible, so that I would know that when I do this little number right here and I link to my style sheet, I know that it's communicating correctly with it. Then down here we're going to have a JavaScript file. I'm just going to call it app.js. We will save that. I, of course, need to come over here and create the app.js, and let's just do an alert. I'm not going to alert anything because if it works, then it's just going to pop up. So now you see we've got our three files, our app.js, HTML, and style.css. I'm just going to open this up, and there's our alert. So the JavaScript is working correctly. Close this, and our background is yellow, so we have all of our external sheets linked up correctly. Let's close that down. So what are we going to do? Let's start off with a section with a class of container, and inside of this container that's just going to be a wrapper that wraps our entire site here. And let's just do an H1, a heading 1 with an ID of my header. We'll do my heading, and let's just call it JavaScript. And the DOM. The DOM stands for Document Object Model, and that is everything you're going to see over here. Let's save this and refresh that to get rid of this hideousness. There we go. Things are starting to look up. Making a page. Very good. Actually, we'll do it interactive. There we go. And then that is going to be it for that. Let's see. I want a button. A button. You like how I enunciated that? I'm going to call it toggle. We'll call it toggle list. And that's an ID. So then the text for the button is just going to be hide list. And then if we refresh that, we've got a JavaScript in the DOM. That's our heading, our little phrasing right there, and our button. So let's see, we've got H1 paragraph right there. Now let's do a div with a class of list. So we can just do .list and it defaults to a div. Very cool. That's using Emmet. I'm going to do a paragraph with a class of description. And this is going to be just our to-do list. Refresh that. There we go. And inside of this list class, I want to put it input. It's going to be type text, but I want to give it a class of description as well. And then under that input, we're going to have another button with a class of description. I will explain all of this once we get into the CSS. Change the list description. There we go. And if we save this and we refresh this over here, we've got our input with our button there. That looks good. Outside of, actually inside of our list, let's just do a UL with an LI, or let's do 4 of them. 5. Let's just do 5 of them. And then we can do, this is going to be our, obviously this is going to be our list. Wake up with alarm. Eat breakfast. What else did we do in our to-do list? Go to work. I guess work once we're at work, most of us, for the most part. And then when we're done, we will leave work. And then that's going to be it for that list. Let's do another input, type text. And this one is going to be a class of add item input. And then we're going to do 2 buttons. Add item button, and this is going to be add item, and this is going to be a button that we're going to apply a JavaScript, an event listener click. When we click this, it's going to append to this unordered list whatever value is typed in here. Like if we do eat cookies, once the JavaScript is applied to it, we click that and it's going to add it to this list. And then we're going to do another button that we're going to use to remove item. That's the button, so we're just going to do, this is going to remove the last item from the list. So we save that, refresh this. So when we click this, it's going to have an event handler, event handler on it that is going to take, it's going to look at the last child of this unordered list and remove it. Very cool. And honestly, that's going to be it for our HTML. It all looks pretty good. I mean, it looks horrible because it's not styled, but I think that's where we want it to be. So now we got all that done. Up next, we will be working on the CSS to style all of this horrible looking HTML code to make it look pretty. So we will see you then. Thanks for hanging out today, and catch you later.